Now, I'm going to teach you how to install BMD in Windows 10 operating system. We go to the Google search engine and type BMD. Visual Molecular Dynamics will appear to us. We give in the download section and we will select for the Windows 10 64 bytes. Our user will ask us in this case for an email and password. We click to continue registration or the download, then ask the mail is not registered in the database. It asks us of the following data, so we put our name and address. Tell us that our affiliation is academic. The number of people who will use is 1. TCGB is a theoretical and computational biophysics group. One of the areas that we are going to occupy to teach and well in ours it's financed by institution is not. We confirm the password and click to register. This information about the lesson will appear. We will have to confirm to accept, and it will take to this section. And this section we are going to select for the which platform we want to the download. In this case, we are going to select the latest version of BMD. It is for Windows 10. Once finished downloading, we are going to execute the program in the installer and we are going to follow the instruction. Click on next and wait. We are going to save the lessons and we are going to leave off the default folder where it's going to be installed. We are going to install it and the following and the final one we are going to give it finish and we are going to leave the box activator for run this. Finish and done. And in the program we have the program installed, so here we can now file a new molecule and load the data we want to start using it.
If you have not opened the structure yet, do it in the following way. In the main menu of BMD, select File, New Molecule, through Browse your systems until you find the PDB file you downloaded, select it and open it with OK and then load. To continue, open the representation window, graphics representations. In the structures there are 4 strings. For the moment we are going to work only with chain A. In the select atoms file, enter chain A, represent the atoms as points. In the Darwin method, select points and increase the size of the points, size 10. Remember that not all atoms are protein atoms. We are going to separate protein and non-protein atoms. Click twice on the line of the previous representations, create a new representation, create rep, and change its properties. In select atoms, not protein, and change A. In drawing method, CPK. CPK is a representation with balls and rods so that the bonds between close atoms will appear when appropriate. This allows you to clearly see that the not-protein atoms are of the two types. You can easily find out which atoms there are by marking them on the display. For this, you can easily change the mouse functionality, mouse level atoms. You can do the same more quickly in the following way. With the cursor inside the display window, press 1 on the keyboard, then with the left mouse button click on an atom and you will see a mark with the residue name, numbering, and atom type. If you want the return to the normal functions of the mouse rotate, press R. If you want to control the levels that you have placed, delete, hide, use the options that you will find in the graphics levels windows.
Hide the representation that you visible. I created new creator. Step 1. Adjust the following drawing method licorice. Selected atoms, protein, and chain A and receipt 1. When you view the first residue, you can see its name and the names of its atoms by selecting then white the mouse. Step 2. White the cursor inside the display. Press 1, then white the left mouse button, click atom, and you will see a mark with the residue name, numbering, and type of atom. Step 3. Continue lengthening in the chain. Select atoms, protein, and chain and reset 1 to 2 gradually up to 1 to 20. Create a new representation, create a rep and change its properties, select atoms, protein, and chain A and reset 1 to 20. Drawing method 2, extending this and new representation to residue 40. Select atoms, protein, and chain A and 1 to 40 and to the end of the chain. Select atoms, protein, chain A. Step 5. Complete the chain and represent in a special white the secondary structure of one of the A chains of hemoglobin. Select atoms, protein, and chain A. Drawing method, new ribbons. Covering method, secondary structure. You will see a schematic representation of the tree where the colors have the following meaning: yellow, beta chain, lilac, alpha helix, dark blue, alpha helix, light blue sign trees, gray collie. To find out what types of secondary structure the beta type chains have, repair step 5. Now selecting the B or D chain. The secondary structure can also be evaluated through the Raman-Chandran diagram. Open the Raman-Chandran plot tool, extensions, analysis, Raman-Chandran plot.
We will now represent in detail the heme group and O2 in one of the hemoglobin chains. We will highlight two important residues of the protein, the proximal and distal histidines. To get a simple perspective of the chain, we first create a systematic representation. Create rep, then select atoms, then chain A. Drawing method, then tube, then radius, then 0.1. Coloring method, then color ID, then to gray. Next, in the new representation we show the heme group, rename heme, the oxygen, rename oxy, and the histidines, rename his. Create rep, then select atoms, then chain A and rename hem, oxy, his. Drawing method, then licorice. The proximal histidine is the one that is coordinated 2 ferrous iron of the heme group. The distal one is the next closest, on the opposite side of the heme plane. To represent them apart, we need to know the residues numbering. Cursors inside the display window. Click 1, then with the left mouse button click on any atom of the proximal of distal his. The residue's name and number will appear in the display. Reset the presentation you have made in 2. Select atoms, then chain A and rename hem oxy or reset number 1, number 2. A new representation with the following characteristics. Create rep, then select atoms, then protein and chain A and node reside 5887 and within 6 of name B. Drawing method, then licorice. Coloring method, then color ID, then 0. Export your rendering as an image file, then render, then start rendering.
Quaternary structure, interaction between subunits. Finally, we will study the complete proteins, included is for subunits. For this time is quaternary structure representation. It is convenient to use surface visualization with here use clean idea of can be colored depending on the type of the chain, the type of residue, etc. Hide your active representations. Click twice on the representation line. We will work with new ones. New we select create print, select atoms, wrapping method, and color method. New here stream is displayed with a different color. Remember that strings are the key to child A and C are of time alpha. The B and D charts are the time beta. With the four chains visible, you can see the union between that there are not is a caused a close the representation that it depends modify your raster representation or hide and then create a new one. Click on coloring method, change writing method and create solve. Click and select atom, protein and chair A and B or protein and chair A and D, etc. To say the surface spherical on the string the interaction with another. Change the representation of the one on the then to a string mode, for example, lines, and color the surface on the other according to time of receipt. Rest time. Hide your representation to create two new ones for two different streets, for example, A and B. In one's performance, create two select atoms, protein and chain added. Also create colored method, restyle, write method, clean solve. In the restyle representation, the colors have to follow it mainly. Blue is basic receipt, red acid receipt, green polar receipt, and white not polar receipt. In the other representation, click on the stellar atom, protein and chair B. Finally, click on the colored method, chair breaking method, and lines.